Boom, we are pre-recorded. Well, now we're live. Actually, I think we're live. I think I just hit the live button. I'm not even sure. Anyways, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin's price drop. We've been actually looking for these things to happen probably for the last 2.5, 3 weeks now almost. And although the FUD and all the FOMO and the excitement comes into play, I think what's nice is when you find a long-term perspective and you lean into it, although you're not always correct, it does bring more affirmation to the work that we're doing. Again, here with technical analysis, although we have sometimes more refined possibilities of potential of what might happen or might happen. I said almost like a past tense experience there. When you're playing the game of technical analysis, it's a game of probability. So we're just going to dive in straight from this little get. We've got Bitcoin now open on the 15-minute chart here. As you can see, I've got almost a collage of red lines here. And when we scroll out on the daily, it does make a little more sense here. What we're charting is a long-term trend line as part of this wave that we are managing, and then also this triangle here. Now this top part is actually, I've drawn in here as an area of I guess it's basically a block of resistance. You could draw out a probably healthy channel like this as the area of real resistance at this point. So we could, I'd speculated that we could even come up as high as 13,160, but staying below this trend line here would still bring us down lower. Now the lower areas that we're looking for, and for the last 2 weeks, it's remained constant. Nothing's changed here for our sentiment, which is kind of a boring thing, right? You'd hope that every day maybe we would have something new to say, but that's not the case, because when we do things right, or not right, I guess when our probabilities start to become more influential, we end up looking at this area here, around $8,400 and $7,500. This is where I believe we're going to be coming down to. I've thought this for multiple weeks now. And again, if we look in on the 15-minute, or today it looks like we're going to come down to around $10,000. So if I zoom out here, we take a look at the volume profile. One of my favorite indicators for well, I think in general, I have a few favorite indicators, but the volume profile here is definitely one of them. So here we actually have a fair amount of support that starts at around 10,800, which we'll probably come into today, and then again 10,400, 10,000, and then 9,500. These are the three checkbox areas where we will probably come down to retest. Now again, the bear claw is super important here to keep an eye on. It's this top channel here. So for those of you that don't have these indicators, if you want, you can go and follow us on TradingView just by typing tradingview.com. From there, if you type in, not in ticker, but in people, and you type Arcane Bear, we will show up. You can find us. Our logo is pretty predominant there. And then from inside of TradingView here, you can go to our scripts section, and you can actually use the Eagle's Nest or the Bear Claw. Wow, over 208 likes on the Bear Claw so far. Thank you guys for all the support there. Do remember to give these indicators a thumbs up if you like them. So the Bear Claw is just a stacking of moving averages and exponential moving averages. So here we see all these lines, which we call the inner claw, and then the outer claw's edge here is actually your 314 and 200 days or 200 simple moving average. So these are these top ones up here. We could come to retest this again, especially the green one, which is your 200 simple moving average at around 11,300. But more specifically, I think we'll probably test around 11,200 a day with a retest of around 10,800. So I know these things happen quite quickly. And again, it's really hard not to get caught out in the FOMO. Like I remember when we started to move up here around 10,000, everyone's like, oh, we're going to 20K. And I'm like, well, it seems more likely that we're going to hit this this top and resistance line. And then that's what happened. We've been watching it very closely in the private bear den as well. So, man, it's thank you all for joining us. It's pretty depressing to see how many natural or the organic reach that YouTube has cut off from us. I don't know what happened, but YouTube has basically destroyed our ability to connect with the bear family. It's really noticeably dramatic. I have no idea what they've done in their algorithm, but for all of you that do watch the show, if you can, please go double check the subscribe and the little bells are notified, because our content seems to be going out to not even a quarter of the people that it used to. I mean, we've averaged 2,500 to 3,000 views per video since I started this channel, and for the first time ever, we're seeing only like 3 digits, like 600 views per video. Yeah, JT says I don't get notifications anymore. Yeah, I'm not sure what YouTube has done here, but they've definitely decided to pick on us as a channel. And like I said, I'm not the only content creator that's going through this. I've looked through, and I've noticed it a bunch. In the Reddit forums that they've been slashing views. The organic reach here has gone down dramatically. Again, we've averaged 2,000 to 3,000 views a video since we started this channel. This is very noticeable. Anyways, there's not too much of a worry. We are going to, I guess what we'll do is we'll just leave today's show open. So I see one of you guys asking about Litecoin. I sit on the same page with Litecoin that we have for the last few weeks. Although we have seen a nice little spike up here. Let's take a look at it on the 45-minute. Okay, so here we are. We're actually looking at Litecoin on the 45-minute. You know, for a little, again, not financial advice here, but see how we've broken above and we're starting to consolidate on the top of the 200 simple moving average, or the outer green layer of the bear claw here. It's, I think, likely we would pounce up here now to the top blue line. So there's a potential for a short little 3% trade out of Litecoin over the next little while here, although again, not enough for me to get super excited. We've been much more patient with watching tokens like Raven and Matic. Again, it all depends on the type of trading and speculating that one is interested in. You know, I like speculation. It's a lot of fun. Even when you lose, it can be very educational for the way we deal with emotions. And myself have actually been very volatile with my emotions for most of my life. So this has probably been one of the best training exercises for keeping my emotional volatility in check. That and just general exercise, keeping fit and having fun. So again, looking at Litecoin here on the 4-hour chart, where we look out to see if there's any more heightened possibilities, you could see around 8,000 satoshis, or at least to the mid of the cloud here, which would put us maybe another 8%. I wouldn't bet too far against that. On the daily, we've actually just crossed over on the Eagle's Nest, but we are turning down. So this is the Eagle's Nest. This is another one of the free custom Arcane Bear indicators that you can get by following us and liking it. See, we do have a volume just breaking through the top part of this area now, but until our sell volume breaks through here as well too, we're not going to see the real momentum that we like out of a token. So I'd keep an eye on the Eagle's Nest here, and on the weekly for Litecoin, we're actually still turned down, and significantly so. So I would suspect that we'll see more downside, even if we do see a little bit of a quick upside with Litecoin. You guys are saying YouTube's gone down the tubes. Yeah, I'm not sure why they've screwed our views so heavily. It's really, really noticeable too, and that's always dangerous when it's very noticeable. If it's small, if there's like a few hundred views on either end, you'd be like, oh, that's not a big deal. We can, we might not even have noticed. But when they slash your views by 3/4 of your consistent average for over 2.5 years, it's super fucking noticeable. So I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's because I have swearing in my videos, and they decide to just cap anyone that has swears. Which could be very, very possible. I mean, there's a likelihood that they're practicing things right now that are to make sure that content that shouldn't end up in the eyes of children don't end up there. And it could be very possible that because I've been swearing in my channel that they've just pushed us down. I mean, again, here, what the problem with YouTube is they went from just an open public platform to leaning more into being publishers, and it's been failing their ecosystem. If you're a big time fan of YouTube like I am, it's really noticeable to see that they're walking down the wrong path and aiming more into the corporate world than they are into the creators. And the creators are who made this platform what it is today. So it's kind of depressing to see that they're doing that. I wonder how Mixer would do as a crypto platform. Roy, that's a great question. We've actually been looking at moving some content into Mixer.com. We've signed up for them, so hopefully we can have an account come out on Mixer. But again, guys, if you haven't yet, please go to www.arcanebear.com and sign up for our free newsletter. You're not going to get a welcome email yet because it's not set up, but once you sign up, when we send out our newsletters, they will arrive in your inbox. We usually send them out once or twice a month. And we're working to set up the custom official emails that, hey, you've signed up for our free newsletter. Here's this information. Please follow, these other things. We haven't finished those yet, so hopefully we'll get that into place. Also, you can find us on Facebook. The link's in the Telegram channel below. There's tons of ways to continue to communicate with us. So I think what we're going to try to do is just make sure that as many people are following us through as many channels as possible, because YouTube is just fucking us over, and it's very painful to see. What's your thoughts on Veritasium? Jay Tree says. we exited every alternative digital asset in May of 2018 once Ethereum broke the $480 area. I remember making a video when I was in a hotel, being like, I'm exiting everything. Veritasium was at that time we exited too. So my speculation on it, who knows? Someone's trying to subpoena them. Again, the difficult part here is that anytime anyone raised money inside the United States, they're going to have the SEC breathing down their neck heavily. We don't know what that looks like in the long term. Again, maybe they come out healthy. We don't know. Again, I stay away from speculation at the moment unless it's very short term. Like with Matic, the last few days I've been taking very short term trades to try to aim for 6% gains. Even though Matic had brought in 80%, I like to fill in my gap. Again, my main thing for practicing speculation trading is that I get into a position and I'm either stop loss or I get out in profit, and it's one of those two things. So I really, really like to follow and practice that strategy. And again, it leaves me exposed to less exposed to volatile assets, which is what the entire crypto space is in general, are volatility-based assets, and that's hugely powerful when you're on the right side of the trade. But again, that's why stop losses are so valuable. So with Veritasium, I mean, I have no particular speculation on it because I haven't been watching it. Nor have I been paying attention to why they've been subpoenaed. All I know is that I saw some of that news come out. I haven't looked into it much. Again, this is the thing with speculative tokens or speculation in general. We don't know what's going to happen. Derek Belcher says, we all know how much those 5-year-old kids like to trade Bitcoin. I think what it could be, though, is anyone who doesn't actually address their age. So YouTube might have put it in as a barrier that if you don't have an age picked, they will just throw you into the children's category of the content that they show you just to be safe. And that would probably account for a big chunk of the regular viewership. Again, having only 55 people watching our live streams, we would, from day one, when we started in August, before crypto was like super noticeable, this is the average that we would get. So the fact that we're getting less viewership than the very first days I started this channel is super fucking noticeable. And it's, like I said, it's very disheartening for putting so much effort and energy into the content for YouTube just to be able to basically spit on you. And there's no recourse. There's not a goddamn thing I can do. There's no one we can message. There's no one we can talk to. They don't give a flying fuck. So YouTube, I mean, it's really one of those things where now all we can do is grow out our community through the rest of the channels like Facebook, our private newsletter, because this might continue. We hope that it doesn't. We hope that, the best case scenario would be hope that maybe I just suck at creating content and YouTube is going, oh, you suck. We're not getting as many views anymore, but it definitely doesn't look like that from the other content creators I've looked at. They're all doing quite well, and they've been spanked for no particular reason. I couldn't find a thread of uniformity between the content creators who were complaining on Reddit about getting their views slashed, again, around 70 to 80%. Remember, we used to get 3,000 views on average per video. It's been 600 to 700 since the last week, and that's, fuck me. I don't even want to talk about how much that hurts. Because, I mean, it doesn't hurt like from a revenue standpoint. It just hurts that YouTube can do that, and there's nothing we can do. And there's no community guidelines they're talking about. It's just crazy. Anyways, what do you think about gold? You know, gold is actually a really interesting one. I thought we would end up breaking down, but we did see gold start to break out of its triangle. We saw a very similar pattern to other areas, and gold broke out of its line around the 786. I mean, it's very likely that gold now is going to come up to test its previous all-time high of around $1,600. Again, I mean, that's still nothing in comparison to the crypto space. When you talk about it, a 21% gain. I mean, we see that on a daily basis in the crypto world, up and down. So the volatility of the crypto space is really one of the reasons why we're so interested in it, is because of the percentage gains on both positive and negative sides. Bitcoin bounced from around 10,700. Yeah, that looks like we have a strong area of support and resistance on our volume profile areas as well. We live in a great time to be connected to crypto. Yeah, I agree with this. It's hugely, I mean, just being this far ahead of the curve here, we've got a long story to go. It's very easy to forget how long a decade can be when we're like jumping in and out of our regular life, and all the speculation of crypto moves so quickly, and one day it's banned and the next day it's not. So we're definitely coming quite a bit lower. My original, the aims for the drop are 8.2 and 7.7. Again, how we get down there is probably a much slower process. If we look at the daily, we can see that my triangle brings us all the way out into the mid of September. So again, I would keep the eye around $9,400 here to the 15th of August. That would be my next guess. And again, that's actually a guess. I'm not charting or creating any hypotheticals right now. Again, you see the volume profile here putting us around 7,900, at least when we only have this much data to show. So this is an important area to keep an eye on. What's your opinion on Digibyte? So Digibyte sits in my portfolio as an extremely undervalued asset, especially around the 80 Satoshi mark. It sits in my baby Bitcoin one. If you guys are interested in getting my higher quality thesis level, you can go to arcanebear.com/club and sign up to a private newsletter. I put a significant amount of effort into writing these newsletters, and you can go back and read the previous ones, and they're still equally valuable. I mean, the July's newsletter has been being consistent with returns over and over again, so keep an eye on. I mean, if you want, sign up to the newsletter. It's a lot easier to get like my in-depth views on tokens like Digibyte, because it is considered one of my long-term portfolio allocations. Sean88 says, thank you for the live stream, and we'll look for the little bounce. Truth is always censored. Yeah, it seems to be the slash. Ninja says, disheartening to hear about the YouTube slash. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm really going to need your guys' help to like share these videos and try to get us out of whatever little thumb YouTube has put on us. So share the videos, leave the comments, give us the thumbs up, let the whole videos just play through. The more we build up watch time, go back and re-watch our Bruce Lipton interviews for an hour or two, help bring our watch time. But I have no idea why they've done it. I can't really tell. Like I said, I tried to look at the threads between the other content creators who had been slashed, and I couldn't find anything specific other than the 70 to 80% drop in organic reach. Again, 3,000 views on average, down to 600. That's a huge difference. It's quite painful. What are your thoughts on AGI? I have no idea what AGI is. I've been following Awesome Dude for many months. Thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate that. Same here, great content. Doge, what I like about Doge is it just goes to show the importance of the community and of the, I guess, the community is probably the easiest way to put it. Because community really develops the value of anything, right? Community values are what, created government. They're what created money in the first place. So even though people are looking at tech as the first place, you're like, oh, it's the tech. It's really the community that brings value to everything. If you destroy the Bitcoin community, Bitcoin would lose its value overnight, right? And by the community, I mean the people that are miners, holders, people like me who are consistently sharing and their ideas and their opinions about this. So, the community is such a powerful thing, and Doge really, the Dogecoin really represented, I think, the importance of and the depth of the necessity of community as you grow some of this stuff, because community is where all value of perception starts from, because that's where you can start to have free time to actually have the ability to perceive something as value. Whereas if you're just stuck in your modes of survival, you don't have a way to be focused, or you don't have the extra time to be focused on things outside of survival. Whereas it's definitely a privilege to be able to have value. So if our community can start meditating about new ways to share value, that means we're all already in a very privileged place. So keep that in mind as well as we move forward. Anyways, I'll keep today's show very short. I'm just trying to see if we can recover from this. If YouTube put like a temporary ban on us, or maybe it's a watch time thing. I have no idea. So if you guys can, again, leave your comments, share these videos, just let them run in the background so we can build up watch time. I have no idea, but again, it's really disheartening to see us go from 3,000 to 600 views a video almost over the course of a weekend. So it's really crazy to see. I don't know why they did that to our organic reach and our relevance, but damn. JT says some people create a massive playlist of all their monetized videos, then subs run their playlists on their machines overnight to muted so they can game the system. That would be hugely helpful. If you guys want, you can go to my podcast list. They're the longest videos. You've got the Thomas Campbell, Bruce Lipton, Tyler Jenks. They're all hour-plus videos. The biggest playlist I have is my podcast playlist right now. Again, the test here to see is if maybe if we boost watch time, if we can get that organic reach back, but I have no idea why they've done this. Anyways, I'm going to leave it off like that. I don't want to sound like a complaining Yanny. I'm ridiculously grateful for all of your guys' support, all the new Private Bear Den member signups, all the free newsletter signups. That means we're going to be able to mingle with the community no matter what happens. I'll keep trying and producing content to hopefully get at least our organic reach back. But until I'll keep everyone updated. But until then, it's been a little painful. So thank you all for those who do show up. It feels like we're back to the beginning of the Arcane Bear. This is like the beginning days. I mean, it's crazy to see this is how many views that we would get on average the day we started our channel. So to be 2 years into it and be back down to the bottom is a little crazy. There's nothing in life that you do that. It's not like I pick up a guitar and I'm the same guitar player I was 2 years ago. If that happened, I would never fucking play guitar again in my life. So thank God the other things in life don't work like that. The more time we put into it, the better it gets all the time, whereas YouTube is just a fucking shit show nowadays. Anyways, thank you guys all for joining us. I apologize that I'm a little on edge about this whole YouTube trashing views and organic reach. It feels like Facebook back in the day. It's just really, really disheartening. Anyways, thank you guys all for joining us. Smash the like button, all those fun things. Do. I swear I'm trying not to complain about it. I swear I'm trying not to complain. Just, it hurts when they do stuff like that and there's nothing I can do. It just I guess that's the painful part. Just surrender to the all-powerful YouTube.